Stanley steamer makes your home cleaner. What are your thoughts on Flat Stanley?
Whoa. I don't really remember him. How did he get flat?
I believe he was ran over by a bulldozer.
That's really sad. I'm
But
glad
he lived.
I'm glad he's alive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I would have wanted to live a flat life though.
Why?
I don't know. You know me. I don't like anything difficult, and I feel like it would be difficult to be flat.
Yeah.
Because wouldn't he be like extra wide then? If
He's quite wide. He's quite tall as well.
So I'm like, how do you get in through like doors?
The thing is, he can slide underneath them. He doesn't need to open a door.
But I feel like he'd be too wide to fit under the door.
Any crack or crevice,
He can slide
he
through.
can fold himself up. And
Good for him. That wouldn't be like my super ability of choice, but flatness is in right now. In the time of Ozempic,
I know that's true. He's way ahead of the curve.
He's ahead of the times. He invented that trend.
Yeah. Good for him.
Good for him.
I kind of think the whole thing is propaganda from the bulldozer company because they
was it like a John Deere? Those are tractors, no?
I think they make everything.
Is there a difference?
I think it was a Bobcat, actually.
Period. Sure.
And it's really unfortunate because they in the novel,
if we can call it that, yes.
Call it that. They tout him around like he's a hero for being flattened. But I'm like, this man is walking around daily, probably in crippling pain, chronic pain. He cannot live a day of his life in peace. He will never feel peace. And we're supposed to celebrate that.
That actually seems exactly like what's happening with Ozempic, though. Flattened, and now we're celebrating all of these celebrities for becoming super flat. They're probably in pain. They're probably starving.
It probably hurts.
It probably hurts.
But also, aren't they cold?
Oh, God.
They must be freezing.
Especially like if you used to have a little bit of like something.
Yeah.
I'm always warm.
Yeah.
What would I do without my comfort blanket of... They agree. They agree.
No, totally.
I don't know. I think it's sad. Poor Flat Stanley.
Yeah,
Does he get unflattened at the end?
No.
He's flat forever.
I think he's forever flat because I want to say there's like 10 to 12 sequels.
I know, but I feel like in the last book, doesn't he get unflat?
How?
I think they like blow him up like a balloon or something.
Okay, it's one of those inflation things.
I don't know.
I don't get the inflation thing. Why do people do that?
Let's talk about inflation.
Let's talk about inflation. Why are the prices going up?
I know. Did you hear Chipotle's increasing the price of their burritos?
That's what I heard.
And they're blaming inflation. I think it's like 2.3%. It's crazy.
We haven't had inflation in like 2 years, right?
I don't know. I mean, I think everything's getting more and more expensive, and we're getting paid less and less. I don't know that it's...
Where's the wage inflation? That's my question.
Well, I mean, didn't we just increase the minimum wage or no?
No, we rejected
We said no.
Yeah.
So then why are we increasing the prices?
That's what I'm wondering.
I don't know. Seems like a conspiracy theory. I blame Elon Musk.
I think he's a good scapegoat.
Yeah,
I
blame
think he's
him.
one of the best scapegoats that ever was.
I was driving past a Cybertruck today, and I feel bad, but I looked at it and I laughed, and I have a feeling the person was looking at me, and I was laughing at them because their car was so ugly.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm driving a beat up little Volkswagen Jetta, but like I feel superior to people in Cybertrucks because they're so ugly.
I actually do like the appearance of the Cybertruck.
That's a
I don't
hot
like
take.
the mentality of the drivers.
Oh, I think it's
but
so ugly.
I like how different it is.
No.
Welcome back to the Hoot and Holler podcast.
Oh, that was spicy.
Was that one good?
That was a good one.
Today we have a very special guest. You've probably never seen him before. It's Matthew.
Hi. Nice to see y'all again.
Welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you. You were really like news anchory in your intro right there.
Yeah, I was kind of going for that
Your
vibe.
hand is firm on the microphone. I hold mine like I'm playing the flute.
It's very delicate.
It's very delicate. But you really owned that. So I
thank you so much.
Good job. Good job.
I'm really going. This is like my audition for Channel 7.
I love that.
Thank
What is
you.
Channel 7?
I want to say it's ABC.
Oh, not CBS?
Today's episode is kind of a bit of a tone shift from what we've done in the past. We're going to be talking about some Disney Channel moms.
It's really serious stuff, guys.
The first one I'd like to discuss is Amy Duncan.
Oh God, we're starting out controversial.
Yeah.
Okay, what are your initial thoughts on Amy Duncan?
Initial thoughts on Amy Duncan. I love her.
See, okay, I don't disagree. Like, I think I'm just gonna start going on a tangent. Sorry.
Okay.
I feel like I could relate to Amy Duncan because, like, obviously, like, I was born to be a star, just like Amy was, but forced to be a mother, just like Amy was. So I get it, but then I also feel like she's the worst.
Why?
Because she's always trying to like outshine her kids. And to me, I'm like at the point where once I have children, like I think my pride and joy is like seeing them succeed. And I feel like Amy was always like, how can I make this about me?
So you're just going to give up on all your hopes and dreams.
I'm not going to give up on my hopes and dreams, but I think my hopes and dreams will eventually shift into having a family and having, I don't know. I think at a certain point, once you're like 50, like we need to give up on being a famous actress. If you live in Denver.
Disagree. I totally disagree.
Move to Los Angeles then, Amy. Like, why are you in Denver, Colorado? That's not going to happen.
Denver is actually like now the up and coming epicenter of entertainment.
Okay, so she was ahead of her time, but this was like 10, 15 years ago.
I know, you're right.
What was she doing there then?
I think she was stuck. I think she's a mom and she's stuck and she doesn't really like her kids. She had them. She regrets the decision. She wanted to be a star.
She kept having them. She had Charlie, and then she had that other kid. What's his name? Brian or something?
Was Charlie... Was Charlie a mistake?
I feel like Charlie was the mistake, but then they had like Bob or whatever the heck that
There's
other
another one?
They had another child.
Oh, I didn't watch that.
They had another baby. It was a little baby boy. What the heck was his name? I can't remember.
Isn't Bob the dad?
Yeah, Bob is the dad.
Okay.
I don't remember what the name was. Chuck? I don't know.
Wait, do they have a... Is it a naming? Because, okay, Amy, A, Bob, Charlie, ABC. What were the other... Oh, Teddy. Well, what is Teddy's real name?
Theodora? I don't know. Okay. And then there was Gabe, and then there was...
G. That's pretty high up.
What was the other guy's name? Patrick? No.
I bet it was Daniel.
It wasn't.
Oh.
I also like the dad. What was he doing?
He was kind of like the bumbling dad. He was just vibing.
He got buff at one point.
Did he?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You really didn't watch far. Yeah. He got like guns on him.
Oh, wow.
He became like swole.
Good for him.
Yeah. Like he was like the swole master.
That's the thing.
Arms as big as your head. I swear to God.
He was pursuing a dream. He was improving himself. And what was Amy doing? She was trying, but she was stuck in the plight of motherhood.
She had a job.
Compassion for
she was
her?
a nurse.
Exactly. She was supporting the home, supporting the family while Bob was in the gym.
That's actually fair. Screw you, Bob.
What did Bob do? Actually,
he exterminated.
Okay.
He
had a real job, Bob.
Wore a lot of
extermination is a very real
I'm
job.
like, be respectful. He wore a lot of sleeveless shirts once he got big muscles. There's a lot of layers to Amy. I respect her. I don't respect the actress. Sorry.
We don't need to get into the real life. We're separating the art from the artist in this episode, I think. We have to make that a rule.
Yeah, let's do
right
that
now.
Because jail. But I don't know. I sympathize with Amy. I do. But like, if you don't want to have kids, like, don't have 5. You know what I mean? Like, stop after your first mistake and then learn from that.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Bob was like controlling and forcing her to have kids. Like there are situations like that. I think she was an active participant.
I mean, I would hope so.
Buy better condoms. That's the lesson I learned from that show.
I think what I took away from that show is the competition between the mother and the eldest daughter. It can be real. And I think it's hard for mothers to see their young daughters kind of living the life that they wish they still had.
That's fair, but that's sad. Like at one point you need to
sad,
be
but
happy.
It's real. Like Disney was real for that.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I don't know. I can't get behind. I don't sympathize with mothers who live vicariously through their children. I feel like that's messy.
Yeah, it's messy, but it's real life.
It's real life. I know a lot of people who have mothers like that. Luckily, I don't. My mom's great. And she wants the best for us. And I was raised with that mentality. And I think that that's an important mentality to have. But I recognize that that's not everybody's lived experience. So
I think that's what I appreciate about Good Luck Charlie, though, is that the relationships felt like more vulnerable than in other shows.
Yeah.
And I think it shows both the dark and the light sides of being parents.
That's fair.
And dealing with your 5 unplanned childs.
And you know what? The thing that I liked about that show is both parents were present.
That's so
like
true.
for the entire, like as much as we're making jokes about Bob like being in the gym, like he was there.
He was there
Like
when he needed
he was
to
a
be.
real father.
He showed up.
I mean, the only other show that I can think, well, I guess there's like Dog with a Blog, but like who really watched that?
That was after my time.
And also the husband there was gay.
okay.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
But the only other show where I'm like, they had both like parents were like fully there was like Wizards.
Yeah, can we
of
talk about
Waverly
Teresa
Place.
for a second?
Teresa A is the baddest bee in the club.
Yeah, she is.
Like she is what I aspire to be when
That's-
I'm a mother.
That's the thing. She did not need to compete with Selena because she held her own in
That's
every
the thing.
way.
She was also a star. I think she wanted to be like, I think she had dreams
Wasn't
of her own.
Dancing.
I don't think
Or
she
did she
was
want to
a
be an
dancer.
actress?
I feel like she was also like kind of performy
Oh,
actress.
okay.
She loved attention, but she also loved her kids. And I feel like that was the show where we saw the most vulnerable side of like a mother.
Mm-hmm.
Like whenever like Alex and Mason would break up and like Teresa would hold her
Oh,
and just
that
like
broke
cry
my
with her.
heart.
Like Teresa's the real one.
She's a real one. She, I think, is the model Disney mom. Like,
Yeah.
she's the blueprint
She's
for all the mothers.
She's so
out there.
authentically herself while also
She's
still being a
living
mom.
her best life.
Yeah.
She's living her best life as a mom, but also as a person.
Period. And that's powerful.
I feel like she can find joy in like the littlest things.
Absolutely.
Like, I just love her outlook on life.
Mm-hmm.
I love her. She's like a shining beacon of love for her family, her friends, and for the sandwich shop visitors.
What was the dad's name?
Couldn't tell you.
I mean, he gave up like
Couldn't tell
magic
you.
for her. So clearly,
I know he was
He had a
also
gem.
pretty. He was strict.
but rightfully
was
so.
strict.
Your kids have crazy abilities.
Yeah, the kids were irresponsible. The kids were running amok through the streets of New York City with their magic wands. What would happen if they got caught? Did they ever discuss that?
I think they would go to like wizard prison.
Okay,
I
or
don't know.
become like Area 51 experiments.
Kind of. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know exactly what would happen, but I don't know. I feel like they made the right decision with Alex being the family wizard.
Oh my god!
Imagine
yeah.
it was Justin. Like
That'd be
respectfully,
horrible.
disaster.
Well, I think that's the premise of the spin-off, right?
Is Justin's lost his powers?
I think Justin is like the dad.
Yeah, and he's
So
lost.
he's
But that to me-
powerless teaching
I don't
the
like
next
that
generation.
Either. Sorry, I tried. Like I caught like the first clip on TikTok, and I was like, "This is dumb. This didn't need a reboot."
Yeah.
Max is a billionaire.
Is he in it?
No.
Okay, they just mention him.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And like Alex is like, I don't know. I feel like Alex was the most authentic character also from
Oh,
the
of
clip.
course.
But in the clip that I saw too from the reboot, like they kept her the same, where they made Justin like, they like ruined him. He like got fired from being the headmaster because of a unicorn incident. I'm like, Justin wouldn't have a unicorn incident.
No, he
Justin
wouldn't.
was such a goody.
He would never have an incident.
Alex would have the incident.
Mm-hmm.
He would never have an
Somehow
incident.
she's fine.
Well, she grew. Like she had like a good character development
What?
arc.
Okay, I forget the ending of the movie. Was there like bad blood between them? Or was it
No.
kind of a peaceful passing?
It
of the
was a
torch?
peaceful passing because Justin got stuck in the twigs,
crevice.
and she was about to win, and then turned back, and then he claimed the victory for himself. But then he felt guilty, and then he stepped down, and then they both became the family wizard, and Max got the sub shop.
Wait, there can be two family wizards?
So Alex was the family wizard, but then the headmaster of Wiz Tech gave Justin back his powers so that he could take over as headmaster. But then obviously, as we know in the future, there's a unicorn incident. He gets fired. He loses his powers.
Okay, gotcha.
Which I think is stupid. They should have just left it as they both have their powers. Max runs the sub shop. I'm happy with that. Move
Yeah.
on. Teresa continues to slay. Teresa's the star of the show.
They really complicated it with that ending, I think. Like, oh my god, does everyone needs a participation trophy? Like,
Well, Max
I think
didn't
we
get
can have
one.
losers. He won the sub shop. I think that's the real winner.
I mean, fair, because he turned out to be the richest, I think.
Yeah, he's a billionaire.
Good for
He
him.
franchised.
Good for him. Moving on to other moms, though.
Okay.
Let's talk about Carrie Martin. Speaking of mothers that don't have husbands.
Martin.
I almost said Wizards on Deck. Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Oh, yes, of course.
She's a single mom who works 2 jobs, who loves her kids and never stops, with a gentle hand and a heart of a fighter.
She's a survivor.
Like, I mean,
I think-
absentee mother, absolutely. Like, where the hell was she? But
she was never there.
But she was working to like pay
thing
the
is-
bills.
Well, listen.
there was no man.
Was she working?
Yes, she was a
Because
singer.
She's a singer, but those kids were running through that hotel day and night. She's not on call 24/7. She's like a jazz singer.
Yeah, she should have been in the
She
lounge.
shows up for her set in the hotel lobby for like 2
where
hours
was
a
she?
night.
Did she
Where
have
was
another
she?
job?
No.
Where was she?
I don't know.
Huh.
She was out and about doing God knows what.
I don't know. I feel like I'm going to give her a bit of a break, though, because it must be hard to raise 2 crazy twins
It's got to be tough.
in a hotel.
Do we know what happened to the father? Is she a widow? Or
No,
was this
he was
like
alive. He came back. I think it was
Oh.
just a divorce.
Okay, divorce.
He was in the
but they
show.
never visit the dad.
The dad comes to them once, I think, in
Okay.
like 1 episode.
Okay.
But then she ships them off to a cruise ship and says,
Well, she also works on the cruise ship, right?
does she?
Does she not?
I don't
I
think
thought she was a
so.
singer on the cruise ship.
No, I think she's literally gone.
She just sends them off. Okay.
I think she ships them off to like boarding school on a cruise ship. She said, I don't want these kids no more.
I mean, I wouldn't either. They're like dry cleaning their underwear, putting that on the tab. That's ridiculous.
She was a mother. She had a little romantic fling with Esteban. I don't think that went anywhere. Part of me felt like she should have been with Mr. Mosby.
I shipped them so
He was like
hard.
the father of these kids.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I think he had great fatherly instincts. I do. I think he cared about those kids more than Carrie did. Hot take.
I could see that.
I think they would have had a very strong partnership as well. I think they really complement each other and they make up for each other's weaknesses.
Yeah.
Where she lacked discipline, he was so disciplined. And where he lacked fun, she was so fun.
I agree. I don't think that Carrie's the worst mom on Disney Channel. I actually think I would give that award to Cece's mom from Shake It Up. I know that was like a little bit after your time and also kind of after my time, but I still watched it. But like, I get it. She's a police officer. Like, good for you.
Oh, that's cool.
Cool. Love that. Your kid's auditioning for a reality TV show and you're nowhere to be found. Like, don't parents need to sign off on that? I don't get it. Where was she?
I have a lot of questions.
Your
about
daughter
that
was
show.
going through dyslexia and she was sitting outside in New York or
Wait.
Chicago crying on the stoop and Rocky was there comforting her. Where were you?
Was that part of the show? Or I thought
Yes.
Bella Thorne had dyslexia.
She does, but then they wrote that into the plot.
Really?
And then she was like, I can't read. It's like alphabet soup. And then Rocky's giving her a pat on the back. Where's the mother? Where's the mother?
Where is the mother?
Where is she?
What was the show exactly? It's just watching kids dance on TV.
That's the thing.
I was
And, like,
always
who's
confused by
watching
that.
that? Perverts. So you're gonna, I mean, you know what I mean?
God. I mean, I guess.
Who's watching a bunch of 13-year-olds dance on TV every week? That's it. I mean, I guess it's like Dancing with the Stars kids, but like,
But Dancing with the Stars was a competition show.
this is just literally
It's just
random
kids
kids
dancing.
and they're dancing in like weird outfits to like strip club music. Like, it just, I don't get it.
I think
I'm not slut shaming Rocky and Cece. They're icons. But the parents should have asked a few questions here.
were the parents even on set?
Yes. Wait, on set of the show?
Yeah.
Like on Shake It Up?
Yeah.
Like, were they on the actual like TV show Shake It Up Chicago? Or like on the Disney Channel
Like,
show?
were Rocky and Cece's parents on set?
There for the tapings?
Yeah.
No.
That's
I think they
so
they took
irresponsible.
the train themselves.
They took the train to
I don't
go
think
to work
they even knew.
at
Yes.
12 years old.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Worst parent award, I think, for sure.
Where are you? Your kid's roaming around Chicago going to a strip club.
But also, that kid is untouchable. Like, if your mom is the chief of police,
I don't think she
you're
was the chief.
untouchable.
Was she the chief? I don't know.
I didn't watch it. I don't know.
And at least Rocky's parents were there some. Well, I guess so was Cece's mom. But it's just like irresponsible. And her, don't even get me started on her brother. Something was off about that kid. I just don't know.
Can't comment on it.
I don't know. I think we've learned a lot from Disney Channel parents on what not to do with our kids.
What not to do.
And those are lessons that I think I'll be taking with me. But I think the biggest moral of this story is be present in your child's lives.
You know what I want to see? I want to see a Disney Channel show about 2 parents with no kids.
I feel like they wouldn't put that on Disney Channel.
And I want to see how they live their lives and how they feel, how they go about their lives. Do they continue to pursue their dreams into
How would they be parents if they don't have kids?
fur babies?
That'd be iconic.
That
Dog
would
with
be
a blog,
so
but with no
good.
kids.
With
With 2
no
adults
kids.
living with a talking dog who has a blog.
Yeah.
That would be a slay.
That's kind of the content that I'm interested in watching now on the Disney Channel. I think enough of the kids. We've seen it time and time again. I want a parent-centric show to give these kids some perspective.
That's fair.
And these kids also, it's like they need to appreciate their parents a little bit more, because it's like nowadays you can very easily choose not to have kids. So imagine little Timmy, you don't even exist because your mom wanted to pursue her dreams. Think about that.
That's valid. I'll give you that. I don't know. I also feel though like the kids didn't choose to exist. And from what I've learned on Disney Channel, it's like parents seem to just be popping kids out and then not giving a flying fig about their lives, and they're just roaming around doing whatever.
You're right.
I'm like, make it a conscious choice. If you're going to have a kid, make sure that you want the kid.
Almost all Disney Channel parents monetize their children as well.
Yeah,
right.
Look at Miley Cyrus, Sunny with the Chance. She's on TV.
They're always putting
Shake
them
It Up.
on
They're
a TV
dancing
show,
on the TV show,
making them perform for money or run the sandwich shop. But in some way or another, those parents are always
profiting from their kids.
They're profiting off of the child labor. And oftentimes don't even have jobs, like real jobs themselves. What was Billy doing? What was Billy Ray doing?
He was a former musician.
But
you know what? I think that actually very much lines up with the reality of like these kids were being put into these TV shows and their parents were cashing the checks.
Yeah, so that's all
you know what? I feel like it might have been Disney giving a little commentary of like, you know what? Like, yeah, we're going to put your kid on a show where the parents are absentee and they suck.
Yeah.
Because the parents of these stars might be absentee and suck. I don't know.
And then it's easier for the children because they're acting what they feel, what they know.
Maybe. Because I don't know. I feel like putting my kid on a TV show at a young age, unless that's really what they wanted to do, but I would be there 24/7. I'd be like watching them. I'd be the momager.
Well, what if you have another job? What if you have a career?
I'll give up my dreams for my kid.
Okay. I hope they're making a lot of money then.
I hope so too.
Yeah. I have recently been alerted that gifting knives is bad luck. Have you heard this before?
Gifting knives?
Yeah.
What if it's like a cutlery set?
Bad luck.
Really?
Apparently you're not supposed to gift knives. I have never heard this before.
Who told you this?
My brother told me.
Why? Did someone gift them knives at their wedding?
No, it was for the holidays.
Like this holiday?
Yeah, he got a knife. And he was like...
Who's giving him holiday gifts now? It's beginning of December.
We do things differently in our family.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah. But last year, I was going around telling everyone I need a knife. And I received 3 knives as gifts. So I'm just like waiting for the shoe to drop. I'm scared.
That's fair.
So now I'm on edge because I'm very superstitious. I'm just on edge waiting for something really bad. 3 knives.
Wait, but so did he reject the knives that were gifted to him?
Yeah.
Who
My mother.
Your mother gave him a knife and he said no?
He said, I have to pay you for the knife.
You're joking.
I'm not joking.
Wait, that's
and the fact that he's being superstitious about it, I'm like, oh, this must be like a really bad
Well, you have
thing.
to pay everybody back for your knives.
Well, it's like a year later.
Okay, so the bad luck hasn't started yet. Get ahead of that.
I'm just scared it's too late.
Give everybody like $20 and call it a day.
I was thinking 5.
I mean, that's the thing. Technically, you're still paying for the knife even if you give everyone $1.
What about a cent?
Still counts.
Okay.
Discount knife. Give everybody a penny.
Okay.
Who gave you a knife?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
That's a good idea.
It's time for our favorite part of the podcast, the Hoot and Holler.
Woo!
Quick summary. The Hoot is something that you love, and the Holler is something you hate. Let's dive in.
Okay, fun. So can I go first?
Yeah.
Okay, my Hoot today is bribing your children.
Okay. Perfect.
I think that bribing your children is so fun. I don't think you should do it like monetarily, but my parents bribed me with a dog to like move to America.
Yeah.
And that was the best thing that ever happened to me. It brought me like 12 years of just pure happiness. And I didn't want to move to America, and it made it a lot easier. And it was beneficial to everybody. And it was a researched decision, and it was great. And it enriched my life, and it enriched my sister's life, and it enriched my parents' life. And I think bribery is okay if it makes everybody happy.
Is your Hoot actually the bribery, or is it the joys of pet ownership?
I feel like it is the joys of pet ownership, but I think I want to shout out the fact that, you know what, it is okay to bribe your children with something that will bring everybody joy.
How do you feel about like paying for grades?
Oh, I don't like that.
You don't like that?
See, for me,
Where do you draw the line?
I think maybe like if you get A's on your report card, like we can go out to dinner to celebrate. I think I believe more in like bribing with experiences rather
Okay.
than money, because I think bribing kids with money is like a bad lesson. But I think if you reward your children with something exciting, like I guess my dog wasn't really a bribe; it was more of a reward. Like you're gonna move to America even though you don't want to, and we'll reward you with the dog.
I think bribery is just still bribery at the end of the day. You know, like I want my children to want to earn that A because they have a natural thirst for learning, because they have an inclination for bettering themselves, not because they're going to go to Applebee's after. You know what I mean?
But like, I guess, but I feel like sometimes that needs to be taught. Like not every kid realizes that like it's important to get good grades. Like it made success feel better, I think. And yeah, I don't know. I don't see any harm in that. I don't think there's any harm in incentivizing good behavior.
I used to know someone in high school who was paid, I think they did like $20 for each A, $10 for each B, and then I think they had to pay their parents if they got C's or lower.
They had to pay that's crazy.
I think on their report cards, and that was like their motivation, and I thought that was crazy.
I'm not into that. Like I don't even really necessarily believe in allowance.
Oh, that's a hot take.
That is a hot take. I never had an allowance. Like if I wanted something, I would ask my parents, and if they said yes, they said yes, and if they said no, they said no.
I think allowance is important because it teaches like the value of money, and I think regardless of if your children like do anything to actually earn the allowance, I still think it is important for them to see like, okay, this is my income and now I have to it like teaches budgeting at a very young age.
I guess
the value of saving. And
I feel like you can teach people, like I learned that by my parents like showing me like how to do like stock market and like mutual funds.
Oh my God.
With like birthday money and stuff.
Whoa.
I don't know. I feel like you can learn how to save with like money you get from holidays and birthdays and stuff. It doesn't need to be, I think a weekly allowance, like I understand what you're saying, but like why am I paying my child to be alive? They're already costing me money. Why am I giving them more?
You're not really paying them though. I think it's just about the concept of like, okay, this is how much money you get and you make it work.
I guess. I don't know. What's your hoot?
My hoot this week is really exciting.
Okay.
It is the World Speed Jigsaw Puzzling Competition.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
Yeah.
That's a thing that happens?
It's a thing that happens.
Annually.
And I watch it on YouTube. I watched the like official competition live stream, even though it happened several months ago, but it is exhilarating. The way they do it is it's sponsored by like a puzzle maker. I think it's Ravensburger.
Sure.
I don't know how to pronounce it, but anyway,
why not?
It's like all the people. So I think there's like 400, 500 people from around the world. They break them into heats. So heat 1, they go, their puzzle is like in a black bag. The timer goes off and like they blow the whistle. They have to rip open the bag, flip over the puzzle, see what the puzzle is, open the puzzle, and then just get to like sorting the pieces and building. And they usually have like 90 minutes to complete like a 500 piece puzzle. And then from there, it's like the top 30 of each heat goes into like the semifinals and then the finals. And the winner gets like $100.
I'm going to ask a stupid question.
Mm-hmm.
What is a jigsaw puzzle?
Okay, that is a stupid question. So a jigsaw puzzle...
Is that like a normal puzzle? Like,
yeah.
I'm thinking, what are the puzzles where it's like it's in like sorry, there's a fly. What is the puzzle where it's like in a set bound box and you have to like swipe them around?
That's a slide puzzle.
Okay, but a jigsaw puzzle is a normal puzzle.
A jigsaw puzzle is like...
It's like the puzzles with the little...
You put the piece and
edges.
It has the cutout and the peg things and you fit them together.
Okay. Well, yeah. I love that for them. Do they get to pick the design of their puzzle?
No, they all get the same puzzle and it's in the black bag. So they'd have no clue what they're about to work on until the timer goes off.
Is it like fun illustration puzzles or is it like ugly? It
can be anything. And also, so I now follow several like puzzle influencers And they all kind of like specialize in different things. So like this one person loves like comic book illustration puzzles or like things that are very graphic, and then other people really skew towards like photographic images. Some people only like landscapes, while other people only like still lifes. But you never know what you're going to get. So then it's like you might be the world's fastest landscape puzzler, but if you're at Worlds and suddenly it's like
it's a picture of Marie Antoinette, what are you going to
do?
Good luck, Charlie.
And they are sweating. They're moving so fast. And I highly recommend everyone go watch the World Championships Speed Puzzling, sponsored by Ravensburger.
I love it. Good hoot. Good hoot.
Thanks.
Should we move on to hollers then, I guess?
I think we should talk about our holler.
Okay. My holler today is airplanes.
That was going to be mine.
Wait.
I'll think of a different one.
Really?
Okay, go.
Wait, can't we just agree on our holler and call it a day?
No, it has to be different.
Okay, well, my holler is airplanes.
Okay.
I just booked my flight back home for the holidays. And there's like nothing direct, number one. Why? I'm going from one coast to the other. Should be direct. All the planes are getting smaller. For why? We should be making planes more comfortable. We should be improving. We're regressing. Certain airlines now don't even have TVs on the plane. What's that about? And we just went on vacation and they didn't even give us the cans of the sodas. Mm-hmm. Why are we being cheap? I just paid like $9 million to be on this tight little seat that's made out of cardboard. Mm-hmm. It sucks.
They don't even pad the seats anymore.
It's garbage.
It's like a plastic lawn chair.
It's hard.
Yeah.
The flight attendants are miserable. Like, flying used to be a luxury.
Okay, that's going to be my hot take, actually.
Okay.
This is going to be like kind of philosophical, maybe.
Okay.
But I think that like we have, as like an American people, really glamorized travel so much to the point that it's like so normal now. And I think like 50, 60 years ago, like people had never flown in their entire lives. And now it's like people are taking like 3, 4, 5 flights a year for like a normal person who doesn't even travel for work. So I don't know. I think it's interesting. Like it's just so bad for the environment. I think there's other methods of travel. And do we really need to be traveling across the country 6 times a year? That's don't know.
Fair.
So,
but I'm just like, if we are traveling more often, which we are, why are we making things less comfortable? Like it's a cash grab. Traveling has become a cash grab where they want to shove as many people into the tightest plane that they can get. They're making rows of like 4 now instead of rows of 2. It started as rows of 2, then it became rows of 3, now it's rows of 4.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are we doing that? The aisles are getting smaller and smaller, but so are the seats.
I think it's because everyone's traveling.
Right. So make more planes.
I think that requires so much infrastructure. You're going to need to build more terminals at the airport, which is going to require more parking, which is going to require more.
So you're saying that you think that traveling should be less comfortable now as punishment because we're traveling more?
Maybe. I think
it's
that
just
like,
so brutal.
I think traveling by plane maybe shouldn't be an enjoyable experience.
I don't disagree, but they need to make another alternative.
That's what I'm saying. We need trains.
I agree.
We need trains.
I fully agree. But we don't right now, so let's not make it miserable and uncomfortable until there's an alternative.
That is what I would love if it's like, okay, nobody wants to fly. There's an opportunity there.
I guess.
But everyone is still flying.
It's just hard because the United States is so humongous that I don't know that a national rail system would actually be feasible because it's so big.
Oh, I mean, we used to. That was our primary mode of transportation for centuries, right? Maybe not centuries, decades.
I guess. But I don't know.
And then we scrapped it all for, it's the same thing with like public transportation and cars. Like we used to be LA. I think I've ranted to you about this. LA used to have the like number 1 largest cable car system in the United States. And then they tore it up because they wanted to make more room for cars. And now it's like, what the heck? I would have loved a cable car system.
Yeah,
you could get all around the city. And now we threw that infrastructure away so that the greedy car corporations can make their money. And I feel like it's the same thing with planes where like, I think they're going to keep it just like they're going to keep you on the brink where it's like, okay, I'll put up with this.
Like it's just so miserable enough
that you'll still do it, but you're not going to like it.
But that's the thing is it's like, I feel like it's gotten past that point where like, to me, like I get on a plane and I question why I'm alive.
But you're still doing it.
I have to. There's no other choice. Like, I almost decided not to go home this year because it's so uncomfortable and it's such a miserable experience. There's nothing I hate more. I'm fine with being at an airport. I hate being on the plane. The plane sucks.
Yeah, I fully agree. That's why I don't enjoy traveling. I just don't.
It's just garbage. I don't know. It makes me really upset.
I'll take a 7-hour car ride over a 2-hour flight any day.
Well, I agree, because also in order to get on a 2-hour flight, you have to be 2 hours early. You have to check your bags, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Then you have to wait at the little turnstile thing for the bag to come down, which is another hour.
You also have to get
off the plane.
You have to get to the airport, which is already going to be like an hour drive.
It takes about the same amount of time. And it's like, at least with driving, you get to control everything.
You have so much more leg room. You can stop to go to the bathroom. You can stretch your legs.
Want.
It's great. I'd rather drive anywhere.
And your bags
personally.
are with you the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm fully on board with you. It's bad.
Big plane.
I feel it.
Back off. Your turn.
Agreed. Okay, my holler this week is a hot topic.
Okay, I'm kind of scared.
It's higher education.
Like, you don't believe in it?
I don't know. I'm starting to think I might not believe in it.
Okay, tell me why. I feel like I could be convinced.
I think first of all, I think it's really bad for the psyche. Like really, really bad, because we live our entire lives with a purpose as young people to succeed in school. I feel like is for most people, unless you're an athlete or a savant in some skill, you're probably going to be trying to succeed in school. And usually you're rewarded directly by how much work you put in. If you study a lot and you do your work, you'll get good grades and you'll succeed, and then you can move on to the next thing. But after higher education, you're just thrust into the real world, and suddenly there's no rules. And I just think it's setting people up for failure.
I don't disagree,
but that's not even where I just came up with that right now, but that's not even the main thing I wanted to talk about.
Okay, what do you want to talk about then?
The main thing I want to talk about is I think it's stupid. I think I was in STEM for 3 years, and the goal was not to learn. It was just to pass a test. And the whole thing doesn't make any sense to me, because it's okay, if you want to be a scientist, you should probably master the subject you're learning. But in my classes, in my physics classes, the test would be curved so severely that an A would be getting a 20%.
Yeah.
And then you pass, and then you move on to the next class. And it's just no one understands what we're doing. And you have to curve the test so much. Clearly the students aren't learning. And then they just continue that system throughout the entirety of college, and then they're thrust out into the world. And then I would say 90% of the people don't even use that degree in whatever their future job is. It just feels scammy to me.
I think
it just does.
I agree in the sense that it is a scam. It's so expensive. It's so stupid expensive. And we're told as a society that if you don't go to college, you will not be successful.
Yeah. And
respectfully, we both went to college.
And we're not successful.
Well, I mean that, but also I learned nothing in school. I went to we both went to top 100 schools, in the nation. We both went to good schools. Respectfully, I learned nothing. It's exactly what you were saying. I went there to pass a test. I went there to pass a class. And once I passed that class, I erased it from my mind and I never thought about it again. What I learned is how to take a test, and I learned how to think.
And that's the thing.
I learned how to think, but I can learn how to think without
I didn't learn how to think, I don't think.
I mean, period, clearly. Then again, my parents work in higher education. Love them. Shout out higher education. You paid my bills back when I was a child. But I don't disagree. I do think it's a scam. I don't understand why there's so much pressure on if you don't go to school, you will not be successful.
These jobs require you to have a 4-year degree to
That's the
apply.
thing.
And then it's for example, my first job, I was sending emails and putting things in a calendar. I don't need a 4-year degree to do that. And then from there, my career just went. But I didn't use anything I learned in school.
That I absolutely agree. My first job was audience coordination. So I was walking old ladies to and from the bathroom, and I needed a 4-year degree for that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Respectfully, a monkey could have done that job. Like, and no offense to the people who work in audience coordination. It was a great job. It's really fun.
And no offense to the monkeys.
No offense to the monkeys either, but you don't need to be educated for that.
No.
I don't understand. If you want to be like a manager at like a Hollister, you need to have a degree. And like, in a way, I get that because you're managing people. But like, what am I going to do if I have a degree in marine biology? How has that set me up more to be a manager at a Hollister? Like, what did I learn in my marine biology classes that helps me manage a group of rowdy teenagers? Nothing. I just think it's ridiculous. It's a stupid prerequisite. So I do agree with you. And then people go into crippling debt for years and can't find jobs after they're being told that if you want to get a job, you have to go to college. And they come out of college and there aren't jobs in the fields that they wanted to study. And it's like, what is this? It's a ripoff.
Also, the requirements, I think, are so just stupid. Like, you could easily cram those 4-year degrees into like 2 years. It's just a money grab. And then they're like, oh, but actually to graduate, you have to take like the history of Greek mythology. And it's like, why?
It's like, why?
I'm studying chemistry. Why do I have to take the history of Greek mythology? Why do I have to study 2 languages?
Like gen ed classes? What is that?
Yeah.
Again, I guess it's like make you more well-rounded. And I think it's important to learn that like in grade school. Like I love that I had
grade school.
But these schools, like higher education isn't setting you up for the real world at all.
No.
Like teach me how to budget. Teach me how to pay my taxes. Teach me how to like, I don't know, do something. Teach me how to change the tire on my car. I don't know how to do that. Like, and that's like practical. I did not learn a single practical life skill from higher education.
No,
like
I don't
learned
know if
nothing.
I don't know if it's their job to do that, but I do think yes, like grade school should be the time to broaden your horizons, explore different topics, and then if you're going to pursue higher education, it should just be focused on like whatever field you're going to go into,
and it should be about like $60,000 less a year.
Yeah.
Why am I paying $72,000 a year to go get an education for a degree that's not actually going to help me get a job? Why am I doing that?
Because society tells us
it's
to.
sad.
We're puppets.
I don't know.
We're just puppets.
But again, shout out higher education. We love you. Mwah.
I'm cutting that part out, I think. We're not shouting them out. Okay. Well, that's all we have time for this week. I really hope you enjoyed listening to our silly little podcast.
Yeah, and drop down a comment below. And who's your favorite mom?
Who's your favorite Disney Channel mom? And do you believe in higher education?
Do you think that your mom is better than a Disney Channel mom? Shout her out.
And thank you, Matthew, for once again joining and giving us so much great insight into Disney Channel moms.
Of course.
And also plane seating.
Oh, it's been my pleasure.
Come back in another week or 2.
Okay, I probably will.
Yeah.
Whether you want me to or not.
Yeah.
Well, we gotta go.
We gotta go.
Sorry.
But
Bye.
Bye.